Be seated with that, and when we'll do introduction of the fire into the Havan Kund, you just light your Diwali lamp and be one with the light of the lamp and the light of your life. Let's sit down straight, close the eyes gently, deep inhale and exhale, focusing on the breath going in and out of the nostrils. Let's bring our focus to Ishwar God seated within us and all around us in this universe. Chanting Om 3 times and Gayatri Mantra in the form of bhajan. तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया, पालन कर रहा है तो तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम, दुखियों के कष्ट हरता है तो तेरा महान तेज है, छाया हुआ सभी स्थान, सृष्टि की वास्तु वास्तु में तू हो रहा है विद्यमान, तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम, मांगते तेरी दया ईश्वर, हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला, दाता हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। Join the palms together, rub them gently, cover the eyes, transfer the energy to the eyes and to the facial muscles, slowly, gently opening the eyes below the palms. अथेश्वर स्तुति प्रार्थनोपासना मंत्रा। ओम विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव, यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव, हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेकासीत् सदाधारपृथिवीं द्यामुते कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम ॐ य आत्मदा बलदा यस्य विश्व उपासते प्रशिशं यस्य देवाः यस्य छायामृतं यस्य मृत्युः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो महित्वैकैद्रा जगतो बभूव य ईशे यस्य द्विपादश्चतुष्पादः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम. The first mantra is praying to Ishvara God. Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasva. Durgun Durvyasan और दुखों को दूर कर दीजिए. Remove our pains, sufferings, ills and evils. फिर यद भद्रं तन्ना आसवा. Give us all that are beneficial and benevolent for the whole world. Then Patireka Sit, recognizing Ishvara God as the one and only ruler of this universe, who is due and worthy of worship, we pray that he leads us to be Chatushpada, to work on the path of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, righteous living, righteous earnings, righteous enjoyment, and ultimately to move into Mukti Moksha. Om ye nadyo rugra prithivi chadridha ye na swasta bhitam ye naka yo antarikshe rajaso vimana kasmai devaya visha vidhema ॐ प्रजापते नत्वदेतान्यन्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जोमस्तन्नो अस्तु वायं स्याम पतयोरयिनाम्. This last part says vayam syama patayorainam. O Ishvara God, lead our mind, our intellect on the path of righteous thoughts and righteous actions so that we become masters of both
जी आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
and spiritual treasures. Om Sano Bandhurjanita Savidhata धामानि वेद भुवनानि विश्वा यत्र देवा अमृतमानशानास्त्रितीये धामन्नध्यैरयन्त ॐ अग्नेन यसुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जोरानमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नाम उक्तिं विधेम. This last mantra says Vishwe Deva Vavayunani Vidwan. So let's be surrounded by elderly and knowledgeable persons who would be our mentors in life, sharing the life experiences and knowledge to bring us forward in life and thus be masters of both material and spiritual treasures. इति षुडस्तुति प्रार्थनोपासना mantra. Ranjay ji, I couldn't listen to you in between. आप कुछ बोल रहे थे? Can you hear me? I'm audible to all of you? Om?
Yes, you are okay.
Okay, that's fine. Let's proceed. Archman, please take water in the right palm. 3 mantras here. And at the end, when we say Swaha, then sip the water. With the second mantra, again take water. And third mantra, again take water. But always Kriya, mantra ke baad, all the actions to be done at the end of the mantra when we say Swaha or at the end. First Archman. Om Amritopastara Namasi Swaha. Second time. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Third time. Om Satyam Yashah Shirmai Shri Shayatam Swaha. Wash your hands. Then take water in the left palm. Using the middle and ring finger of the right palm, we are going to touch various parts of the body, praying to ईश्वर God की जो इंद्रियां को हम स्पर्श करने जा रहे हैं वो हमारे सुपथ सन्मार्ग पर चलने के लिए हमारे सहायक बने. All the limbs, the organs of the body we are going to touch, pray to ईश्वर God that He inspires our intellect, our soul, and the soul drives the intellect and the other organs of the body to be engaged into righteous actions. Om Vangamasistu, Om Nasormi Pranustu, Om Akshnurmi Chakshurastu, Om Karniyormi Shrotramastu, Om Bahurmi Balamastu, Om Urvorma Ojustu, Om Marishtani Mangani Tanustanvame Sahasanto. Athishwar Agni Adhanam, please get ready to light the lamp at the end of this mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha. After lighting the lamp with the next mantra, lighting of the camphor to introduce the fire into the Havan Kund, which would be done at the end of the mantra. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Dhyoriva Bhumna Prithiviva Varimna Tasyaste Prithivi Deva Yajani Prishte Agnimanna Manna Dhyaya Dadhe. With the next mantra, we are going to pour 3-4 spoonfuls of ghee to get the fire blazing. Om Udbudya Svagne Pratijagrihi Tvamishta Purte Sansrije Thamayancha Asmin Sadhaste Adyutarasmin Vishve Devaya Jamanashtasidata. Samidhadan, 3 pieces of samidha wood sticks dipped into ghee, the first samidha with the swaha in this mantra. Om Ayanta Idmatma Jata Vedaste Nidya Svardha Swachedda Vardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Sma Idam Agne Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Second Samhita, here we have 2 mantras. It would be on the second Swaha, please. Om Samidhagnim Dovasyata Griter Vordayata Tithim अस्मिन् हव्यजोतनस्वाइदमग्नेदन्नमम ॐ सुसमिद्धाय शोचिषे घृतं तीव्रं जोतन अग्नये जातवेदसे स्वाहा इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नमम Third Samhita. ॐ तन्त्वा समिद्भिरङ्गिरो घृतेन वर्धयामसि बृहच्छोषाय विष्यस्मा इदम् अग्नेङ्गिरसे इदन्नमम. Good to remember the second mantra we said, Udbudhya Swagni, pouring some ghee on the fire to get it blazing. Udbudh, Agni ko udbudh karne ke liye, to make it rise blazing. And on this occasion of Diwali, remember, our life gets blazing when we be like the Samidha, introduced into the fire, becomes fire-like. And when we tread on the path of Dharma, we become symbols of Dharma and light in our life. Panchakrit Ahuti. Om, 5 ahutis of ghee. Om Ayantaiddmatma Jatavedastene Disvardhasvacheddavardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhirmavarchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Swaha Idam Agnaye Jatavedase Idam Namama. ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नमम ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नाम्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नमम ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नमम ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नमम. Jal Sinchan, sprinkling of water around the Havan Kund, the first in the east direction of light, sunrise, light enabling us to take cognizance of the physical sciences, the environment around us, but also the light of knowledge given to us in form of the Vedas. Om Aditen Manyasva. Now on the west. Om Anumaten Manyasva. North. Om Saraswatyan Manyasva. Now all around the Havan Kund, starting from northeast, proceeding clockwise and ending northeast where we started. Om Deva Savita Prasuvayadyam Prasuvayadyapatim Bhagaya Divyo Gandharva Ketapo Ketanna Punatu Vachaspatir Vachanna Swadatu. Ahutis of ghee, the first one in the north direction, pouring on streamline from northwest to northeast, second in the south from southwest to southeast, then in the center of the Havan Kund, first in the north. Om Agnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Idannamama. Now in the south, Om Somaya Swaha idam somaya idam namama. Center. Om Prajapataye Swaha. Idam Prajapataye idam namama. Om Indraya Swaha. Idam Indraya idam namama. Good to understand why we use the directions here. Progressing, pouring in streamlined form, always progressing towards the east, because east is the source of light in our life daily. And using the light of knowledge which God has given us will always progress and brighten our life. Second, it says Agnaye Swaha, the spouse, the husband is always seated in the direction of the north, representing energy, liveliness. But then this wife is seated on the right hand side, on the southern side, Somaya Swaha, which symbolizes calm, serenity, and plenitude in life. And in between of them, when we say Prajapataye Swaha and Indraya Swaha, if we walk the middle way between being energetic and between being calm and serene in life, we'll be progressing on Indraya Swaha, become masters of spiritual and material treasures. That is one form of describing these four mantras. We proceed with both now ghee and samagri with a pratakaleen ahudi. Om Suryo Jyotirjyoti Surya Swaha. Om Suryo Varcho Jyotirvarcha Swaha. Om Jyoti Surya Suryo Jyoti Swaha. Om Sajurdevena Savitra Sajurushasendravadya Jushana Suryuvetu Swaha. Sayankalin Ahuti, the Ahutis for the evening. Om Agnir Jyotir Jyotiragni Swaha. Om Agnir Varcho Jyotir Varcha Swaha. Om Swaha. Om Sajurdevena Savitra Sajuratrindravadya Jushano Agnirvetu Swaha. Now the ahutis of both ghee and samagri, which is Pratakalin and Sayankalin Samay, both for the morning and evening. Om Bhuragnaye Pranaya Swaha. Idam Agnaye Pranaya Idam Namama. Om Bhurvaive Pranaya Swaha. Idam Vaive Pranaya Idam Namama. Om Swaradityaya Vyanaya Swaha. Idam Adityaya Vyanaya Idam Namama. Om Bhurvaswaragnivaivaditevya Pranapanavyanabhya Swaha. Idam Agnivaivaditevya Pranapanavyanabhya Idam Namama. Om Apo Jyotirasomritam Namavurbhuvaswarom Swaha. Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate Tayama Madhyamedhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasva Yadbhadram Tanna Suva Swaha. Om Agnena Yasupatharaya Yasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmadjoranameno Bhuishtante Namoktim Vidhema Swaha. Now the next four ahutis would be only with ghee, no samagri please. Om Agnaye Swaha. Idam Agnaye Idam Namama. Om Somaya Swaha. Idam Somaya Idam Namama. Om Prajapataye Swaha. Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. Om Indraya Swaha. idam indraya idam namama. Now we'll proceed with the special ahutis. One for Amavasya, because today is Amavasya, the darkest day of the waning phase of the moon, with a no moon day. So free ahutis there, only ghee. ॐ अग्नये स्वाहा ॐ इन्द्राग्निभ्यां स्वाहा ॐ विष्णवे स्वाहा. Now we proceed with the special ahutis. Today is Deepavali, Sharadiya Navasasyeshti. So it will be ahutis of both ghee and samagri. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा. ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्नासुव स्वाहा. ॐ परं मृत्यो अनुपरेहि पन्थां यस्ते स इतरो देवयानात् चक्षुष्मते शृण्वते ते ब्रवीमि मानः प्रजारीरीशो मोतविरान् स्वाहा. ॐ मृत्योपदं योपयन्तो यद्दैतद्रादिया आयुप्रतरं दधाना आप्यायमानः प्रजया धनेन शोद्धा पूता भवत यजेयास स्वाहा. ॐ इमे जीवा विमृतैरावृत्रन्न भूतो भद्रा देवहुतिर्नो अद्य प्राञ्चो आगामनयितये असाय द्राधिय आयुप्रतरं दधाना स्वाहा. ॐ इमं जीवेभ्यः परिधिं ददामि मेषां नो गादपरोऽर्थमेतां शतं जीवन्तो शतपुरुचिरन्तर्मृत्युर्दधात पर्वतेन स्वाहा. ॐ आयुष्मतामायुष्कृतां प्राणेन जीवमामृता व्याहं सर्वेण पापमयनावीयक्षमेन समायुषा स्वाहा. ॐ शतायुधाय शतवीर्याय शततये भीमातिशाहि शतं यो वः शरदो वाजिजादिन्द्रो निषदति दुरितानि विश्वा स्वाहा. ॐ प्रजायै स्वाहा ॐ श्रमायै स्वाहा ॐ भूत्यै स्वाहा ॐ. So if you have prasad, then it will be prasad and ghee at the same time for the next 3-4 ahutis. ॐ इन्द्राग्निभ्यां स्वाहा इदम् इन्द्राग्निभ्याम् इदं नमः. ॐ विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यः स्वाहा इदं विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यः इदं नमः. ॐ द्यावा पृथिवीभ्यां स्वाहा इदं द्यावा पृथिवीभ्याम् इदं नमः. ॐ स्विष्टमग्ने अभित्रे तप्त्रीणिह विश्वांश्च देवः प्रेत्रेणाभिषक् सुगन्नु पन्थां प्रदिशन्न एहि ज्योतिष्मध्ये यजनं आयुः स्वाहा. ॐ यदस्य कर्मणोऽत्यरीरीशं यद्वान्योन्मिहाकरम् अग्नेष्ट श्रेष्ठकृद्विद्यात् सर्वं स्वेष्टं सुहृतं करोतु मे. अग्नये श्रेष्ठकृते सुहृतहूते सर्वप्रायश्चिताहुतीनां कामानां समर्देत्रे सर्वाणः कामान् समर्दय स्वाहा. इदम् अग्नये श्रेष्ठकृते इदं नमः. So if you see these ahutis, we mentioned Ayush. The word Ayush comes several times. The word Mrityu also came several times. Then the word Sharada also came several times. The words Mrityur came several times because it says the mantra teaches us how to move across the cycles of birth and death to attain moksha, mukti. And the path is simple: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Righteous living, righteous earnings, righteous enjoyment of the righteous earnings ultimately go into moksha. But we need to put our Purusharth 100% physical and mental efforts to attain those goals. Then the word Sharada came several times. It teaches us to be careful, especially in the fall season. Remember, the fall season and the spring season, the transition between seasons. If we are not careful about our food, drinks, etc., we run the risk, instead of boosting our immunity, go on the reverse gear, and there we become prone to airborne viruses and bacteria and other diseases. And we can run the risk of getting into ill health up to going into mrityu. But then the mantra says to us, perform Havan Yajna with ghee and essential medicinal herbs and the sweet spices in your kitchen. You can do it in the Diya Deepak at micro level to boost your immunity, because the fire just sends all these essential oils as microparticles into the atmosphere. That's the importance of that. Then the mantras came, where we offered both prasad and ghee to the holy fire. It's one way of spreading goodness into the whole atmosphere. It's been the autumn harvest for planters, and the Navasasyeshti Yajna on Diwali refers to offering of grains to the fire, the newly harvested grains. It's symbolical because in India it's okay, but where you don't have the grains, then you offer prasad, which is a token offering to the fire. Again, the best offering would be to offer a goodie of food to those needy around us. So this mantra teaches us to be benevolent in life and to do selfless service, especially towards the needy. Now we'll move for 3 times Gayatri Mantra, 3 times Mahamrityunjay Mantra, and Purnavati. So you'll chant Gayatri Mantra along with me, one pace, one tone, sensing your pronunciation, the vibrations, the sound waves of your own chanting, and when comes Swaha, offering of both ghee and samagri. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivaradhanam उर्वारुक्मीव वन्दनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुक्मीव वन्दनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुक्मीव वन्दनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वा Purnahuti. Swistakrit, we already did that. Now we'll proceed to direct Purnahuti. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha. Put all the utensils down, join the palms together, fold them, and praying to God with the Mahabam Devyagan, Sukha, happiness, Shanti, peace, Samriddhi, prosperity. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Kayanashchitra bhuvadoti sada vridha sakha kayashachishtaya vrita Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Kastva satyo madanam manghishto matsdandasa Dridachidaruje vaso Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Abhishona Sakhinam Avita Charitranam Shatam Bhavasyutaye Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Dhananjay ji, यज्ञ प्रार्थना.
पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए, छोड़ दे में छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए, वेद की बोले ऋचाएं सत्य को धारण करें, हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे, शोक सागर से तरें, अश्वमेधाधिक रचाएं, यज्ञ पर उपकार को, धर्म मर्यादा चलाकर लाभ दें संसार को, नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञादि हम करते रहें, रोग पीड़ित विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहें, भावना मिट जाए मन से, पाप अत्याचार की कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे, यज्ञ से नर नार की लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीवधारी के लिए, वायु जल सर्वत्र हो शुभ, गंध को धारण किए। स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा, प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो। इदं न मम का सार्थक, प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो। प्रेम रस में मग्न होकर, वंदना हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा, आपकी सब पर रहे। पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे, भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए। छोड़ देवे छल कपट को, मानसिक बल दीजिए। प्रभु आत्मिक बल दीजिए। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सबका भला करो भगवान, सब पर दया करो दयावान। सब पर कृपा करो भगवान, सबका सब विधि हो कल्याण। हे ईश सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी। सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। सब भाद्र भाव देखे, सन्मार्ग के पथिक हो। दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। हे नाथ सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी। सब हों निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। त्वमेव माता पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव। त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
So now it's time for blessings, Ashirvad. Just join the palms together, close the eyes gently, and close your mind to external thoughts and your heart to external emotions. Just say to yourself, I need to become the recipient of the grace of Ishar God, and there should be no holes in my life to allow that grace to flow away. The ever flowing grace of Ishara, I need to be the proper recipient to hold that grace. ॐ सत्यासन्तो यजमानस्य कामाः, ॐ पूर्णासन्तो यजमानस्य कामाः, ॐ सफलासन्तो यजमानस्य कामाः। Satyasanto Yajmanasya Kamaha. The wishes of the Yajman be truthful, then the truthful wishes of the Yajman be complete, and the truthful wishes of the Yajman be complete with 100% success. Om Swastina Indro Vridhashrava Swastina Pusha Vishvaveda Swasti Nastaksharyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shnuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshaviriyajatra स्थिरैरङ्गैष्ठोष्टवांसस्तनुर्भिर्व्यसेमहि देवहितं यदायु ॐ स्वस्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति 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 Namaste everybody. Thank you for your attention. Now for bhajan, any volunteer please? To volunteer for bhajan, you can unmute yourself and start. Okay, Yashi, please start.
सच्चा तू करतार है, सबका पालनहार है, तेरा सबको आसरा, सुखों का भंडार है। सच्चा तू करतार है, सबका पालनहार है, तेरा सबको आसरा, सुखों का भंडार है। नदियाँ नाले पर्वत सारे तेरी याद दिलाते हैं, ऋषि मुनि और योगी सारे तेरे ही गुण गाते हैं। सच्चा तू करतार है, सबका पालनहार है, तेरा सबको आसरा, सुखों का भंडार है। बादल गरजे बिजली चमके, छम छम वर्षा आती है, मीठी वाणी कोयल बोले यही गीत सुनाती है। सच्चा तू करतार है, सबका पालनहार है, तेरा सबको आसरा, सुखों का भंडार है। शुद्ध आत्मा होगी उसकी, जो नाम जाप ध्याएगा, जन्म सफल तू कर ले अपना, अंत वही पछताएगा। सच्चा तू करतार है, सबका पालनहार है, तेरा सबको आसरा, सुखों का भंडार है। जन्म सफल तू कर ले अपना, अंत नहीं पछताएगा। सतचित आनंद प्रभु को वेदों ने बतलाया है, अंत तेरा ना लाल ने पाया, सुंदर तेरी माया है। सच्चा तू करतार है, सबका पालनहार है, तेरा सबको आसरा, सुखों का भंडार है। नमस्ते।
Thank you, Yashi. Any other volunteer for bhajan? Kamlesh ji? Okay. Unmute yourself. शुरू करें।
सबको दिवाली की बहुत बहुत बधाई हो, शुभकामनाएं। आज दिवाली है, लेकिन हमारे आज ऋषि निर्वाण दिवस भी मनाया जाता है, तो उस ऋषि को धन्यवाद देने के लिए मैं ये भजन गा रही हूँ। धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया, सो के लुट रहे थे हम, तूने हमें जगा दिया। अंधों को आंखें मिल गई, मुर्दों में जान आ गई, जादू सा क्या चला दिया, अमृत सा क्या पिला दिया। धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया। वाणी में क्या तासीर थी, तेरे वचन में ऐ ऋषि, कितने शहीद हो गए, कितनों ने सर कटा दिया, अपने लहू से लेख राम तेरी कहानी लिख गया। तूने ही लाला लाजपत शेरे हिंद बना दिया। धन्य है तुझको ए ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया। श्रद्धा से श्रद्धानंद ने सीने पे खाई गोलियां, हंस हंस के हंस राज ने तन मन वधन लुटा दिया। धन्य है तुझको ए ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया। तेरे दीवाने जिस घड़ी दक्षिण दिशा को चल दिए, वैदिक धर्म पे हो फिदा, दुनिया का दिल बदल दिया। धन्य है तुझको ए ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Kamlesh.
हाँ जी, थैंक यू।
That was really inspiring to the occasion. Yesterday also bhajan was also inspiring. So bhajan over there is only we need to understand each and every line that we are singing. This is in simple Hindi rather than the mantras in Sanskrit, but they also take the message of the mantras to us in simple form. Sorry. Dhananjay ji, announcements please.
Thank you, Kamlesh ji and Yasri, for your nice bhajans. As everybody knows, today is the special day, the Diwali day. Wish you all for happy and prosperous Diwali and life ahead. Acharya ji has prepared some special sermon for the Diwali. He has been writing on this Diwali for several days. Acharya ji will have his sermon. Thank you, Acharya.
Thank you. Namaste, everybody. Today, celebrating Diwali. Diwali started as one of the most celebrated Vedic festivals. First, it was the planters celebrating the autumn harvest, celebrating the bounty of nature. And just remember that celebration of the bounteous nature has also filtered down in all the cultures around the world, celebrating the harvest and celebrating Thanksgiving. Then let's look at Deepavali itself. It's celebrated on the moonless night of the lunar month of Kartik, which is usually October or November, but this is known as the darkest night of the year. In fact, if we pay attention to it, we'll see that night, the onset of night is faster than the other days. It starts with 2-3 days before, but then this is the darkest day. Like here, it's summer. Usually sunset is around 6:20 or 6:30 p.m., but it's 15-20 minutes earlier today. This is because of the changes in the planetary locations by rotation and things which result into the seasons in the world, and this is the fall season in the northern hemisphere. That's why special years were prescribed with the new harvest grains also. One, to boost immunity in terms of when we are offering the nutritious substances, the essential oils coming out of that, dispersing into the atmosphere as vapors, boosting our immunity. Second, there was also the tradition among farmers to distribute a part of the harvest to those needy. That was selfless karma, nishkam seva. So it's good to take Diwali as an occasion, as an opportunity to be helpful to the needy, continue the tradition of Nishkama Seva, selfless service. The social aspects of Diwali involve tidying up and decorating the homes, the courtyards, the temples, decluttering storerooms. And the most important part to which we need to give some more attention is decluttering of the mind from useless thoughts and emotions. As we see Deepavali, it's deep and avali. Deep means earthen lamps, and avali, the row of lamps. Now, with a modern context, we use rows and rows of small lamps, but still it's the rows of light, sources of light. And just imagine how we've all experienced that in our life. The joyous atmosphere by seeing the light all around us. We chant the mantra, Mahamrityunjay mantra, and says Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. So if we spread the fragrance of our good thoughts, good words, and good deeds around, will bring light to our life and also enlighten the life of others. Then there are new dresses, sharing of sweets and gifts. These are part of the social and cultural bonding. It's a festival full of charm, colors, and flavors. Charm because of the light all around, people socializing, the colorful dresses, the colors of the decorations, the flavors of the sweets, and the flavors of the ahuti, of the Havan Kund. Then rituals. We are doing thanksgiving for the bounteous nature, paying gratitude to nature, but we also need to be grateful. We've always been, but probably we need some more emphasis. Grateful to our elderlies, to the knowledgeable persons who are our mentors in life, bringing us to the true safe ports. Understand the underlying science behind the rituals. Like when we do yaj, the fragrant vapors coming out of there to boost our immunity, to ward off bacteria and viruses during the transition of seasons. That's why when you can't do yaj as we normally do, I would suggest you do it in the diya. And even if you can't do yaj daily in the diya, just light the lamp with 1 spoon of ghee there during the transition of seasons. And hence the sattvikta of the atmosphere, the pure, spread the pure molecules of the ghee, and you can mix some samagri also in the ghee, make it like syrup and put it in the lamp, and light it there. It will, one spoon will light probably for 1 hour if you put the standing wick, and that is going to spread the fragrance, the fragrant vapors. And even if you don't sit down with doing it daily, but just lighting the lamp there, you'll be benefiting from that. Then there's the holistic approach to life, to have a glowing life, an enlightened life, or a brightened life. The Vedas teach us in the Sandhya, we says, Shanno Devi Rabhishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye. Abhisht and Pitaye. We, by God's grace, that we have all the material things we need to live life properly and decently. That is material prosperity which sustains day-to-day life, worldly life. Then also hand in hand with spiritual treasures which empowers us to be ethical in life. That's the holistic approach for a glowing life, for a brightened life from the Vedas. Understanding the prayers also is good, because when we have a general broad line view of what we are praying for, then that understanding helps us to identify the obstacles in our life, raise our inner consciousness, listen to the divine guide, the inner voice within us will put up all required physical and mental efforts to realize what we are praying for. And Ishvara would just continue to flow its grace upon us, and that would top up whatever shortfall we have, and will be complete in realizing what we are praying for. That enables us also to be humane in life at all times. That Diwali is sharing, and if we continue to share with those who have, it's a good thing for social bonding. But let's raise our life to another level, spiritual reality in daily life, by probably seizing the opportunity of Deepavali to offer a goodie of food to the needy. The Gayatri mantra itself says, Dhyoyo Naha Prachodaya. That is inspiring us to recognize Asato Ma Sadgamaya, to move from untruth to truth. Then Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, to move from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. And that will enable us to live dharma in daily life and shun evil. So we'll be then walking on the path of dharma and realize Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya, breaking the cycle of birth and death to enter into moksha mukti. That is the main teaching of this mantra from the Brihadaranyupanishad. The Vedas have plenty of mantras telling us to be brightening our life. One of them says, Aroha Tamaso Jyoti from the Atharva Veda. Brighten life by moving out of the mesh or the hodgepodge of darkness. It's physical darkness, mental darkness, spiritual darkness, with a holistic approach to enlightenment, physical health, good health, mental good health, moral hygiene, spirituality in day-to-day life, and then brighten the social life all around us. This is the teachings of Deepavali. Remember, the Vedas, wherever Jyoti and Agni comes, it means the physical energy, the physical light, but also it guides us to the light of knowledge. Like when we're doing Jal Sechanam, I said, then the first is on the eastern side, then the western side, and then Agnaya Swaha, Somaya Swaha, moving always towards the east when pouring the ghee. It's moving towards the light of knowledge, the physical light which enables us to identify things in our surroundings and acquire knowledge of the physical sciences and the knowledge of the spiritual sciences. If we don't read the Vedas, we don't read the Upanishads. Let's recognize truthful behavior around us, or else just listen to the inner voice, the divine guide. We'll be walking on the brightened side of life and realize Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya in our real life. Remember, often when we are in the darkness, it may be physical darkness, or we don't see light ahead in our life to move forward. It's avidya, the darkness of ignorance, because we don't want to step out to look at the problem as a third party and to look for a solution. We just get entangled in that. But then instead of cursing these periods of darkness, let's step out of it, analyze our character, analyze our actions, analyze how we behave towards our own self. And this introspection will give us, as we say, the light at the end of the tunnel. That light will enable us to move out of the morass or the puddle of mental, moral, spiritual, social darkness. We kindle the light of true knowledge, the light of equanimity, that is, be calm whatever be the circumstances, the light of love, the light of compassion, to tackle poverty, illiteracy, hatred, social unrest. We'll be able to refocus on our social bonding, especially not at the quantity, but at the quality of our social bonding. Then we'll be able to channel all our resources, be it at the physical level, the mental level, or emotional levels. And then we'll be living life in the true sense, for our benefit, for our own welfare, for the welfare of our friends and relatives, and for the welfare of society at large. That effort to be the lamp of our life, that is which we need to be the lamp of our own life, that will enable us to live life in a brightened manner, not only on the night of Deepavali, but beyond that. The aftermath or the after effect will be higher levels of inner peace, prosperity, and happiness. We're also celebrating today Maharishi Dayanand Nirvan Divas, the great reformer of the modern ages or the contemporary period, the greatest reformer we have had after the Mahabharata period. Maharishi Dayanand came to us with a message back to the Vedas. And back to the Vedas, not only with the mantras to do Swaha, with the mantras as full knowledge of the worldly sciences, be it physical sciences, social sciences, or any other science, but more importantly, with the spiritual sciences to be ethical in life. And I think he's left in a summary form the teachings of the Vedas in the 10 principles of the Arya Samaj. The first 4 principles goes to us, guiding us to be knowledgeable about Ishwar God and what is right, what is wrong. Then this next 6, it's about social bonding, living in society. And just remember, Maharishi Dayananda has laid emphasis to be truthful in life is 4 times within the 10 principles. Satya, Satya Vidya. Then Ishwar Satchidanand, Sat, that is uski satta hai, existent consciousness. Ved sab Satya Vidyaon ka pustak hai, the source of true knowledge. And it's not only spiritual knowledge, it's both spiritual and worldly knowledge to live day-to-day life. Then Satya ke grahan aur asatya ko chhodne mein, again the emphasis of truthful, being truthful. And what are we praying for in this time of Deepavali is Asatoma Sadgamaya. No better formula to move out of what is not true, half knowledge or false knowledge, to move towards truth. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati brought to us the light of knowledge, the true interpretation of the Vedas. And in summary form, the Rig Veda Adi Bhashya Bhumika, introduction to the Vedas, stands as, we say, the 3 corners of the triangle with Satyarth Prakash, Sanskar Vidhi and Rig Veda Adi Bhashya Bhumika. This is the triangle of knowledge, or if we want to get familiar to the knowledge of the Vedas. And let's look at the life of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Enduring so many adversities, but then emerged even at the last minute of his life. 30 days poison was working in his body, but no sign of pains, sorrows, or, as we say, gloom and doom. And the last minute was in Sandhya, meditation, contemplation, connecting to God, being in communion with God. And the last words, He Ishwar, Teri achhi leela thi, aur Teri ichha purna ho. Being grateful to God for the blessings that he had in life, even at the time when the poison was working and his soul moved out of the body, and that was liberation from the pains and sufferings. And for the yogi, for the characteristics he displayed, we can only conclude he was an accomplished yogi, and accomplished yogis always move out of the cycles of birth and death, goes into the line of Mrityorama Mukshiyam Mritat, or as we say, Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya. We realize that. So if Maharishi Dayananda could realize that, everybody can realize that. Suffice, he gave to us the formula, the 4 Purusharth: righteous living, dharma; righteous earnings, artha; righteous enjoyment of the righteous earnings, kama; and mukti, moksha, at the last step. So that was a marvel. He was the first person to call for the education of women, which unfortunately after the Mahabharata were deprived of access to education. He brought forward the concept of the mother being the greatest university in the life of the child. And if she is educated, she is going to educate generations after. and then calling for the emancipation, as we say, equal rights, but also rights with responsibilities. जहाँ पर भी सत्यार्थ प्रकाश में महर्षि दयानंद अधिकार के लिए बात करते हैं, तो वहाँ पर भी उसके साथ साथ जिम्मेवारी की बात भी करते हैं. That's why interpreting the Vedas is said like one is Vayam Syama Patayorainam. We become masters of not only material but also spiritual treasures. Abhisht and Pitayen Shanno Devir Abhishaya. These are always the dual tracks of the railway line, to always going parallel. And if one is skewed, the destination cannot be reached. So such a great soul amongst us, which walked on this earth, lived on this planet earth, teaching us, bringing us to the point where we can also attain moksha, mukti. That's the life of a great rishi. And rishi means unfolding the knowledge for our own physical, mental, moral, spiritual, but also social upliftment. That is, when we grow, we hold also the fingers of others along with us and grow in life. So when we are brightening our life, let's hold the fingers of our friends and relatives within our surroundings, bring some light into their life. Then we'll realize the message of Deepavali not only as light during one night in our life, but light in our life, as we say, 365 days all round the year. So let's be inspired to walk on this path of material and spiritual light, physical and spiritual light, to enlighten our life, enlighten the life of our friends and relatives. As I had one post, I think it was the day before, if we look at Deepavali, starts with the tradition in India. It starts 2 days before with Dhanteras or Dhan Trayodashi, which we tend to think it's about purchasing a new thing, bringing it into our home. So many people just try to buy gold because it's a shining object. But can we really brighten our life and shine as good as gold in society? Dhanteras celebrates two things. One is Dhanvantari, the wisdom of Ayurveda for overall wellness, physical, mental, moral, spiritual, and social well-being. Dhanteras is a conjunct word, Dhan and Teras. Dhan means wealth and Teras means 13th. Now, it's celebrated 2 days before Deepavali and the 13th day of the waning phase of the moon before Diwali. But Dhan means wealth. Let's understand wealth from the common interpretations in day-to-day life. It's always said health is wealth. But beyond that, we know this saying is not complete. It says, when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. And when character is lost, everything is lost. That gives the holistic components or approach to wealth. One is physical wealth, material wealth. Then health is a more important component, because if we have wealth and we don't have health, we can do nothing with that wealth. So it goes on dharma, artha, kama. But then it says character. Then this is where dharma prevails. If character is lost, everything is lost. So Dhanteras brings us, if we take that worldly meaning into life, then celebrations of Dhanteras would be really meaningful, because we'll be putting our efforts to, as we say, bring or churn the milk to get the essence of it. And as we churn the milk, when we ferment it, we make the dahi. We churn the curd, the dahi, we bring out the butter, and when we cook the butter, we get the ghee. Each and every process is endurance, tapasya. But then look at how the value increases. The value of curd in terms of physical health is better than milk. But the value of curd also, if we take the market price, it's much costlier than milk. Then after churning that curd, when you get the butter is still costlier than the curd. But the butter also is more health beneficial than the curd. Then when you get after cooking it, subjecting it to heat, we'll be getting now the ghee, which is yet more beneficial, because ghee is considered as a rasayan in Ayurveda, very beneficial for physical, mental health. And remember, at the times when people were eating ghee regularly, they were having bright intellect. Their mind were working fast. And the level of sattvikta in life, sadhagi, simple but high, simple living but high thinking, was very high. So it shows the value addition that we have in life at each and every turning point when we face adversity. Suffice, we need to make the best of opportunities within the adverse times. Just like the milk converted to curd after fermentation, then after churning comes to butter, after cooking comes to ghee. Each step brings value addition. So let's take life as it is. Each step should bring us more value addition. At the end of it, we'll ultimately reach that moksha. Then the second day is Choti Deepavali, that goes into now today what we are celebrating, the Diwali festival. Looking at the social, the ritual, the spiritual aspects. Let's leave all of them together. Don't leave one part and take only one part. Let's take the holistic approach of this festival. Then would be Bhai Dooj, again social bonding. But remember, in this time of COVID-19, teaching us to live with the essentials of life, but let's respect the norms, the sanitary norms of wearing masks when we go out, social distancing, and avoid the crowds, especially for those, for the elderly and those with underlying health problems. Nobody is immune to that, not even the young who were formerly told your resistance is better. But no, let's comply to the rules and regulations of the authorities. Even the principles of this Arya Samaj guides us to that. प्रत्येक को अपनी उन्नति में संतुष्ट न रहना चाहिए, किंतु सबकी उन्नति में अपनी उन्नति समझनी चाहिए. The common good takes predominance on my personal interest. Then सब मनुष्यों को सामाजिक हितकारी नियम पालने में परतंत्र रहें और प्रत्येक हितकारी नियम में सब स्वतंत्र रहें. So whenever we have to work for the common good, let's follow the rules and regulations for the common good. And I think by respecting that, we'll bring some more light and we'll be able to truly bring Deepavali as part of our life. Hope I could have given you some insight on the holistic approach or these various aspects of this festival, and wish you all, in my own name and on behalf of the Hindu Center of Atlanta, Happy Diwali, Deepavali, Abhinandan. ईश्वर आपको सुख, शांति और समृद्धि प्रदान करें. धन्यवाद. I would just suggest to Dr. Chandora to just give a few words of his blessings as elderly amongst us, Vishwe Deva के रूप में. Just give your blessings, please. Unmute yourself, Dr. Ji. Unmute yourself first.
Namaste ji, you have told everything. So everybody enjoy Diwali, be prosperous, do your daily altruistic contribution to society and have progress of everyone with yourself too. Acharya has done everything, whatever he has said. So thank you everybody. Namaste. That's the only thing I can summarize.
Thank you, Dr. D. Dhananjay ji, any other announcements?
No.
So let's proceed with Aarti Bhajan.
Vandana.
Yes,
Yes,
Vandana
I'm
ji,
ready.
please.
Okay. Om Jai Jagdish Hare, Swami Jai Jagdish Hare, भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, जो ध्यावे फल पावे, दुख बिन से मन का, संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, माता पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गहु मैं किसकी, तुम बिन और न दूजा, आस करूं मैं जिसकी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो भरता. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति, किस विधि मिलूं दया मैं, तुमको मैं कुमति. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, अपने हाथ उठाओ, द्वार पड़ा मैं तेरे. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे, भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे. ओम जय जगदीश हरे.
Thank you, Vandana ji. I see someone new joined. Jaya is written. You want to introduce? Jayaji, who is that? Okay, Acharji, will proceed with the Shanti part.
So let's sit down straight, close the eyes gently, focus on each and every Shanti that will be chanting connected to one element in this universe, praying to Ishvara God that each and every of these elements brings us peace. But remember, we have to be peaceful towards the universe first to earn peace from the universe. Free shlok before that, and when chanting the free shlok as well as Gayatri Shanti part, let's listen to our own pronunciation, our own chanting, and feel the vibrations silencing our mind, our emotions, bringing us to realize inner peace, and that comes from within ourselves. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityornamritam Gamaya. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्याद्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. ॐ द्यौ शान्ति अन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्ति आपः शान्ति ओषधयः शान्ति वनस्पतयः शान्ति विश्वे देवा शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. O God, by your grace, may the celestial regions, the all be peaceful. May Antariksh, the space, be peaceful. May Prithvi, the earth, be peaceful. Apah, the waters, be peaceful. Oshadhaya, the seasonal crops and medicinal plants, be peaceful. Vanaspataya, the perennial plants and vegetation, be peaceful. Vishwe Devaha, the learned and elderly, be conducive to peace and prosperity. Brahma, the supreme creator, reliever of pains and afflictions, bring us peace. Sarvam, may the universe be peaceful. Shanti Reva, may peace be peaceful. हे अन्न के स्वामिन प्रभु, आप हमें अन्न दो जो रोग रहित और पुष्टिकारक हो। आप अन्नदाता का कल्याण करो। दो पाए मनुष्यों और चौपाए पशुओं आदि में तेज धारण करो। O Anandata, Ishvara, giver of food, kindly provide us with healthy and energy-producing food. Grant serenity to those who give food in charity. May all living beings be blessed with energy-giving food. So, Dhanyavad. Thank you, everybody. Again, best wishes for Deepavali.
Diwali to all. Thank you.
Diwali Abhinandan.
हैप्पी दिवाली।
आपको सबको हैप्पी दिवाली।
See you next week. Thank you.